When I moved to LA and I got into the Comedy Store, I knew from my insecurities, I just knew I wasn't as good as everybody else. I looked around LA and all the shit I heard about LA, and I went to all the comedy clubs, and I went home and I had to have a long talk with myself that if I'm going to last here, I got to commit into this 150%. And when I mean 150%, I mean I got to eat, sleep, and think fucking comedy. And that's great. That's what, that's what commitment is. But I think when I got to LA, I did it a little bit too much. Like I just got into it. I still remember, I got there meeting Ralphie. And basically, I slept in different places. I would sleep in my car, whatever, and then I would walk to Ralphie's in the afternoon, and we would just sit there and write jokes, and then as I got more time in, I started auditioning. And then I got the acting bug, and I wanted to know everything about acting. I mean, I had watched 1,000 fucking movies. I know everything about fucking movies. I love movies. So I had watched everything about movies, but I needed to learn how to act. Or I thought in my mind I needed to learn how to act. So I got into fucking, acting class. And then, I started going on the fucking road in 98. And, one thing led to another. I became a working comic. And I'm very proud of that fact. But I think I took it a little too far as a working comic because I gave up all the things that brought me joy. The only thing that I took with me into comedy was my drug habit. That's it. That's all I had. It was drugs and comedy. Women weren't even in the mix for me at that point. I mean, this is square business. When I got into that fucking Comedy Store, I went nuts. I didn't know. I was very inferior. I knew that, I could be out of there any day. I told you guys that there were nights I would bomb and I would cry in the car on the way home because I'd say to myself, this is the last time I'll be in there, especially after that fucking bombing, But again, I got so involved with comedy that when I moved to LA, I was 248 pounds. Is that on the big side? At that time, if you would have saw me, you would have gone, Jesus, Joey, you look like $1,000,000 fucking bucks. I had big shoulders, In Seattle, I hit the bag. I lifted from time to time. I played basketball. I was involved with different things. When I moved to Seattle, when I moved to LA, the competition was so fierce. And I knew I had to go in so deep that I gave like I said, I just, little by little, all the things that brought me joy, going to the movies, all those little things, I just cut them out. It was, the money I had was either going to be used for a plane ticket or for cocaine, rent, or child support. All that other shit went away. And one of the things I got rid of, and you guys know this for a fact, was football. Like, I used to fucking grind Lee all the time. Like, what'd you do all day? Sunday. Oh, I watched both games. Who watches 2 fucking football games on a fucking Sunday when you're 32 years old? You have so much to do. Even I gave up fucking football, watching baseball, watching basketball. You guys know how much I love basketball. I knew fucking everything about basketball. In 95, I fucking took the Houston Rockets. That's when Orlando Magic had fucking Shaq. I knew everything about fucking sports. I worked for a sports betting service. From 93 to 95, I did 3 years on a sports betting service. I knew players, draft picks, who the quarterback was, the coach's wife, who his girlfriend was. I knew everything about fucking sports. That's what us as guys do. When I got into comedy, I even told football to go fuck itself because you can't sit around and watch football. You need to write. I had programmed myself that I was beating myself up that much that I even stopped watching football. I stopped watching basketball. Yeah, in 23 years, Rogan took me to a Laker game when he was on Fear Factor. Him and Doug Stanhope, we went to the fucking, a Laker game. And I went to the Laker game, I think, with my wife and another family. I went to 2 Laker games in 23 years. I went to maybe 15 Dodger games. I couldn't tell you the lineup. I just went to take my uncle because he was a baseball fan. So after I reconnected with my uncle in 2009, I started taking him to Dodger games. Before 2009, I didn't go to any fucking Dodger games. So you got to remember, from 98 to 2006, I didn't take a break. And I also got up to 418 fucking pounds. Like, even my fitness, even my health, I didn't even care about my fucking health. The first time I went to a doctor was when I met this poor girl, my wife, and she forced me to go to a doctor for sleep apnea. And even though I had insurance and everything, I forgot all, like, I didn't do anything I used to do. When I was in a hotel room on a Sunday, when I used to work Sunday, I think I worked Sundays up to 99, I would not watch football. I would turn it off and I'd be fucking writing. And that was all good, for 20 fucking 3 years in fucking L.A., I didn't have much of a life. I turned my life into it was all built around comedy. If I went to a party, it was because it was a comedy party. Or a movie invited me to a party. Or I had worked on a show, and I went to a party, sometimes I just went, I didn't want to fucking go to a party. I just went to take my wife out on a date. Like the last one we went to was I'm Dying Up Here. Had a season finale, and I did 2 episodes, and I took her to that party. I didn't do anything that was normal. Nothing like that. And I had friends. Like I had Ari, and I had Duncan, and I had, Eddie Bravo. Me and Eddie went to a couple Dodger games with the kids. I had all that stuff, but something was missing from my life. When I moved to Jersey, I made plans in my mind that I had to change my life. Like, if I moved to Jersey, this shit that I'm doing, my social life, has to definitely fucking change. Like, something has to come of this. And, the pandemic came. I called Jimmy Florentine, Jimmy Florentine's sister-in-law, Trish Florentine, sold me the house, and I was very happy. I had my friends up north, I was going to start hanging out with them. And then one day, Jimmy says to me, I don't know if you know this, but on Sundays, we do football. I don't know who's going to show up this year because of COVID, but you're welcome to come over. We open up the windows. They have an air filter. They open up the back air, and everybody social distances, and we watch football, like 8 or 9 guys. So during the pandemic, I'm like I don't know much, I don't really want to watch a football game, but I'll go over there. And I started going over there, for until halftime. And then I would stay to the third quarter. And then I would stay to the fourth quarter. And then I would stay to the beginning of the next game, and then I would stay for fucking till halftime. And, pretty soon I would be there and I would watch the first 2 games of the day at Jimmy Florentine's with his friends, his childhood fucking friends and all his family. And I would sit there and I would take edibles and fucking giggle. And trust me, the first 3 or 4 weeks, I would just sit in the corner, paranoid, saying, when am I going to get fucking COVID?